Man. This is a messed up society we living in today. The FBI goes way to Waco, Texas, and killed David Caress and all of his followers, and nothing is done. Plus, the president that everybody has put their trust in has let us all down, and now we're stuck with the highest taxes in American history. I feel like pulling the trigger. 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 Check it out, every place I go, it's the same old thing. Young punk little brothers trying to make the Hall of Fame. But Suki Slim is back, G, and my homie Joe Garcia is on the side of me. And I got a 44, cause that's the tool that I use when I'm kicking in your dough. Fake studio gangsters, the bottom posse boy, and you know we're gonna gang ya. Saying the same thing over again. I'ma kill you, boy, because I'm going insane. Say what? Cause I feel like pulling the trigger. I feel like pulling the trigger. Say what? Say what? Cause I feel like pulling the trigger. I feel like pulling the trigger. Say what? Cause I feel like pulling the trigger. I feel like pulling the trigger. First of all, let me tell you something straight off the top. You mess with me, boy, you're gonna get dropped. And that's the way it goes. I keep a 44 for anyone who wanna go. And I don't mind burying the chick. I'll wrap the chick up in plastic and place her in a casket. And wonder who's next, G. You can't check joke or be, you better off respecting me. Cause I ain't with your funny little games. I'm all about slanging cane. I'm down with the gang bang. My pockets stay stuffed. I'm rougher than rough. And if you step my way, I'm gonna pull and bluff. So I feel like pulling the trigger. 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 When I walk through the hood late at night, I keep a gap for a brother out of sight. So if you jump out the bushes, G, I'ma kill the cop because he can't kill me. I'm like a vampire trick. I've been around 100 years when I heard of this. The cops beating the brothers up. The bottom posse brother don't play that stuff. So check out the things that we say. The bottom posse stays strapped with the AK. And if you step away, I'm gonna really have to blast. Stookie Slim and Joker P coming from the past. So check out the move that we really like to move. We coming from that road that we rockin' for you. So when you step our way, you best really be prepared to go to war. We don't care who you are or what you have had. The bottom posse boy ain't faking. When it comes to this life, my head stays aching. We came to this earth from hell to let you all know that the bottom posse just can't tell. I feel like pulling the trigger. I feel like pulling the trigger. Say what? Cause I feel like pulling the trigger. I feel like pulling the trigger. Hand me my dog on the pistol so I can crack the hell out of you while killing a bottle of Cisco. Suki Slim is ready for the battle. Can't wait for you to tattle. Go and tell your mama that I slapped you and call her damn funeral home. Cause when we finish with your butt, you're gonna have to use material. Call you know stuff real because you had to feel the steel. Brothers thank you because that stuff you pull was wanky. And now I'm full of that weed and liquor. But it goes to my finger and make me pull the trigger quicker. So before y'all pop your coochie, make sure, girl, that your butt take a dushy. I got the messing girl for you pretty young girls who keep coming around disrespecting our world. And the smell is killing my nose, so I would advise you to keep your legs closed. The bottom posse is behind the trigger, and we feel like pulling the trigger. Say what? Cause I feel like pulling the trigger. I feel like pulling the trigger. Say what? Cause I feel like pulling the trigger. I feel like pulling the trigger. Check it out. See, in today's society, it's so messed up. They got a brother thinking that he gotta slang drugs, or he gotta go kill another brother, or he gotta go five. But it ain't even like that. You know what I'm saying? We used to do all that, but now we on top. You know what I'm saying? 9 trade, and we rolling your way. You know what I'm saying? Bottom posse gets paid around here, and you know what we feel like doing around this country? Pulling the trigger. Bottom posse gonna pull that trigger. Let me see you say it, just pull that trigger. Bottom posse boys gonna pull that trigger. Let me hear you say it, just pull that trigger. Oh yeah. I feel like pulling the trigger. I feel like pulling the trigger.